High in the towering peaks of the Himalayas, where the air is thin and the mountains scrape the heavens, lies a secret that has traveled across centuries to reach our kitchens today. This isn't just another seasoning you casually sprinkle on your food. No, this is a crystallized piece of history, a treasure born from ancient seas that dried up millions of years ago, leaving behind shimmering deposits of salt infused with trace minerals that painted it a mesmerizing pink. Imagine this. Every time you twist open that grinder of Himalayan pink salt and let its colorful grains fall onto your steak or salad, you are not just adding flavor, you are sprinkling tiny remnants of a vanished ocean, a whisper from a prehistoric earth. And here's the jaw-dropping part. In Pakistan's Khewra mines, which are the epicenter of pink salt production, more than 1,000 tons of this natural wonder are extracted every single day. That's the weight of roughly 157 elephants carved out of solid rock and shipped around the world. Now that's a fact worth chewing on. The story of Himalayan pink salt begins not with a mine or a market, but with time itself, stretching back more than 250 million years. Back then, the area we now call the Himalayas wasn't home to jagged snowy peaks but to vast prehistoric seas teeming with marine life. As the waters slowly evaporated under the ancient sun, they left behind layers upon layers of crystallized minerals. Over unimaginable stretches of time, the earth shifted and collided. Powerful tectonic forces pushed those ancient seabeds upward, folding and twisting them until they eventually rose into the mighty Himalayas. Locked inside these rising mountains was the treasure we now know as Himalayan pink salt, compressed and preserved for millions of years. When you hold even a small crystal of it in your hand, you are literally touching Earth's history, a time capsule from an age before humans even walked the planet. But what makes this salt so different from the ordinary white granules you shake from a grocery store container? The secret lies in its mineral makeup. While table salt is heavily refined, stripped of most minerals, and often laced with additives to prevent clumping, Himalayan pink salt remains raw, unrefined, and naturally rich in over 80 trace minerals. The pink hue, its signature charm, comes primarily from iron oxide trapped within the salt crystals for millennia. It's this very blend of minerals that not only gives Himalayan salt its distinct color but also its subtle, almost earthy flavor profile. When chefs describe it, they often say it's less sharp and more balanced than regular salt, adding depth to dishes rather than just a salty punch. So next time you season your grilled salmon or rim your margarita glass with those rosy grains, you're tasting minerals that once swam in an ancient sea. Now let's step into the heart of where this salt is born today, the famous Khewra Salt Mine in Pakistan's Punjab province. Often called the Mountain of Salt, it's the second largest salt mine in the world and the largest source of Himalayan pink salt. Walking into this mine feels like stepping into a cathedral of stone and crystal. The tunnels stretch for miles, carved deep into the earth, and glowing faintly pink under the miners' lights. This mine isn't just a workplace, it's also a tourist attraction, complete with underground mosques and sculptures made entirely out of salt. For many locals, this mine is more than an industry, it's a heritage site, a piece of identity. Every day, miners venture into its depths, armed with drills, chisels, and sometimes just their own muscle power, to carve out massive chunks of pink rock salt. The extraction process is fascinating because it blends the ancient with the modern. Heavy machinery is often used to drill, blast, and haul out giant salt boulders. Excavators tear through solid rock, breaking it into transportable sizes that can be lifted out of the mine and sent for processing. But in many parts of the mine, traditional methods are still alive. Picture a miner swinging a pickaxe, chipping away at glowing walls of pink and white, sweat mixing with dust as he pries loose slabs of salt that have been waiting millions of years to see the light again. This hand extraction method is slower, harder, and requires much more manpower, but it's also considered more eco-friendly and less destructive to the natural formations within the mine. In a way, it's almost poetic, humans using their bare hands to liberate crystals that nature itself has been perfecting for eons. Once extracted, the raw salt doesn't go straight into your kitchen grinder. First, it undergoes careful sorting. Giant salt rocks are separated based on size and quality. Some chunks, with their translucent glow and unique patterns, are reserved for decorative items, carved into lamps, candle holders, or even bricks for spa walls. These salt lamps, now popular in U.S. homes, are said to release negative ions when warmed, creating a calming ambience and purifying the air. Whether you believe in their health benefits or not, there's no denying their warm, soothing glow can transform a room. Other chunks of salt, destined for culinary use, are crushed and ground into crystals of varying coarseness, from fine powder for cooking to larger flakes perfect for finishing dishes with a crunch. Here's where the global journey of Himalayan pink salt truly begins. From the mines, it's loaded onto trucks and carried to processing facilities where workers clean it thoroughly, removing dust and impurities. Unlike table salt, which is bleached, processed, and often mixed with anti-caking agents, Himalayan salt remains natural. It's simply washed, ground, and packaged. Some is exported as coarse crystals in jars, others are pre-filled into grinders, while finer grades are bagged for cooking use. By the time it reaches grocery store shelves in the United States, it has traveled thousands of miles from deep within the Himalayas. And yet, when you pour a pinch onto your hand, it still retains the same texture, flavor, and mineral richness it had inside the mountain. But Himalayan pink salt isn't just about taste, it's wrapped up in culture, wellness trends, and even controversy. In the US, it has become a symbol of natural living and holistic health. Wellness influencers rave about its supposed benefits: balancing the body's pH levels, improving hydration, aiding digestion, and providing trace minerals our bodies need. Some even claim it can improve respiratory health when used in salt inhalers or halotherapy rooms. Spas across America now feature Himalayan salt rooms where clients sit and breathe in the salty air, believing it helps clear their lungs and reduce stress. While science is still debating some of these claims, the popularity of Himalayan pink salt continues to grow. Consumers are drawn not only to its flavor but also to the story it carries, a story of purity, nature, and ancient origins. Economically, pink salt has transformed the region of Khewra into a global hub. Pakistan exports thousands of tons annually, with the United States being one of the top markets. It's not just a product, it's a livelihood for thousands of families who depend on mining and processing for their income. Yet, like all industries, it's not without challenges. There are ongoing discussions about sustainable mining practices, fair wages for workers, and the protection of this natural resource. After all, while the deposits are vast, they are not infinite. Preserving the integrity of the mines while meeting global demand is a delicate balancing act. For Americans, Himalayan pink salt has become more than just a seasoning. It's part of a lifestyle. You'll find it in gourmet kitchens, on the shelves of Whole Foods, featured in TikTok recipes, or glowing softly in the corner of a yoga studio as a lamp. It's marketed as a healthier alternative to regular salt, though nutritionists caution that while it contains trace minerals, the amounts are small, and it should still be consumed in moderation. The truth lies somewhere in between. It's not a miracle cure, but it is a beautiful, flavorful, and natural way to season food. And its appeal comes as much from its story as from its taste. Have you ever wondered what makes Himalayan pink salt so special that it ends up in kitchens, spas, restaurants, and even luxury wellness products across the United States? At first glance, it might seem like just another seasoning, a splash of color in your salt shaker. But behind every tiny grain is a journey that stretches back millions of years to the ancient seabeds of the Himalayan region in Pakistan. What eventually lands on your table is not only a flavor enhancer but also a mineral-rich product steeped in history, culture, and craftsmanship. From massive rocks being blasted out of mines to the delicate pink crystals that dissolve on your tongue, the story of Himalayan salt is as fascinating as it is flavorful. Today we're taking you deep inside the process to show you how this natural treasure is mined, cleaned, ground, and packaged before it reaches American homes and restaurants. The journey begins deep underground in the Khewra Salt Mine, the second largest salt mine in the world and the heart of Himalayan pink salt production. This vast network of tunnels stretches for miles beneath the earth, carved out over centuries by miners who have passed down their skills from generation to generation. The salt itself formed hundreds of millions of years ago when ancient oceans evaporated, leaving behind thick deposits of sodium chloride enriched with minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium. These minerals are what give the salt its distinctive rosy hue, a natural beauty that instantly sets it apart from ordinary table salt. Miners work with specialized tools and machinery to extract massive blocks of this salt rock, sometimes weighing several hundred pounds each. It's a blend of tradition and modern technology, with skilled workers carefully preserving the natural integrity of the salt while using industrial equipment to speed up production. Once the giant blocks are removed from the mine, they make their way to the first major step of processing: crushing. This is where industrial behemoths come into play. Imagine oversized rolling pins or powerful metal jaws capable of crushing boulders into manageable chunks. These jaw crushers and heavy rollers exert immense pressure, mimicking the bite of a titan, breaking the salt into smaller, transportable pieces. This transformation is necessary not only for efficiency but also for safety, as handling smaller chunks is far easier than working with unwieldy blocks. The roaring machines create a rhythmic hum inside processing plants, a mechanical symphony that marks the beginning of the salt's transformation from raw rock to refined seasoning. But the journey doesn't stop there. Crushing is only the prelude to an even more precise stage, milling. At sprawling industrial facilities, the broken salt enters giant grinders that spin like whirling dervishes. Think of it as a high-speed ballet of blades, wheels, and gears, working in perfect harmony to reduce the salt particles further. Each machine is carefully calibrated to achieve uniformity, ensuring that whether you're using pink salt for a homemade marinade in Los Angeles or sprinkling it over steak at a New York restaurant, you get the same smooth, consistent texture every time. The process is mesmerizing, almost artistic, with blades slicing through the salt like dancers keeping time to an invisible rhythm. After milling, cleanliness becomes the star of the show. While Himalayan pink salt is naturally pure, the journey from underground rock to dinner plate requires careful attention to hygiene. During processing, the salt is washed with clean water to remove dust, dirt, or any tiny fragments that may have traveled along with the crystals. This stage highlights the balance between preserving the salt's natural mineral composition and ensuring it meets modern safety standards. Some facilities go a step further, passing the salt through drying chambers where warm, controlled air removes any excess moisture. This step not only enhances purity but also ensures that the salt won't clump or spoil during packaging and transport. For a product that often makes its way from Pakistan to grocery store shelves in Chicago, Miami, or Seattle, stability is essential. Uniformity is equally important. After drying, the salt undergoes sieving, a process designed to separate grains by size. The goal here is to provide consistency. Imagine reaching for your salt shaker only to find clumps too large to sprinkle evenly. It would ruin the experience. That's why industrial sifters carefully sort the salt, producing fine powders perfect for table shakers, medium grains ideal for cooking, and coarser crystals suited for grinders. Each size has its purpose, and American consumers love having options, whether they're seasoning fries at home, rimming a margarita glass, or using coarse crystals in a Himalayan salt grinder. By categorizing the salt into different grades, producers cater to a wide variety of culinary uses. Once the salt has been perfectly sized and cleaned, it's ready for packaging. But here's where the journey takes an interesting turn, because packaging isn't just about convenience, it's about branding, presentation, and sustainability. For restaurants and food manufacturers that buy in bulk, the salt is packed into massive woven sacks that can hold hundreds of pounds. These heavy-duty bags are designed to withstand long shipping journeys, protecting the crystals from moisture and contamination. For everyday consumers, however, the packaging is much more refined. Pink salt is often placed in glass jars with tight lids or sturdy plastic shakers, offering both functionality and an aesthetic appeal that looks good on the kitchen counter. In recent years, packaging innovation has gone even further. Some manufacturers now compress Himalayan salt into chopping boards, cooking slabs, or decorative lamps, turning this ancient mineral into a modern lifestyle product. These unique forms highlight the salt's versatility beyond food, connecting it to wellness, interior design, and even holistic healing trends that have grown increasingly popular in the U.S. Behind all this, there's a deeper conversation about sustainability. Pink salt production isn't just about mining and selling, it's about protecting natural resources and ensuring the process respects both the environment and the local communities involved. Modern producers are under increasing pressure to adopt eco-friendly practices, from conserving water during cleaning to using energy-efficient equipment that minimizes emissions. Environmental audits are conducted to monitor biodiversity around mining sites, and many companies are embracing recyclable, biodegradable packaging to reduce their ecological footprint. For American consumers who are more conscious than ever about where their food comes from, these efforts add an extra layer of value to Himalayan pink salt. Buying a jar of it isn't just a culinary choice, it's a way to support sustainable practices and fair trade. As pink salt has gained popularity in the U.S., it's also found its way into unexpected corners of the market. Health enthusiasts praise it for its trace minerals, spas use it in salt scrubs and detox baths, and wellness centers design entire salt rooms, believed to help with respiratory health. While scientific debate continues over some of these claims, there's no denying that Himalayan pink salt has become a cultural icon. It's not just seasoning anymore, it's a lifestyle product tied to wellness, natural living, and even luxury. Walk into a Whole Foods in California or a boutique kitchen store in New York, and you'll likely find shelves lined with pink salt in every imaginable form. The story of Himalayan pink salt is ultimately about transformation. What begins as ancient rock buried deep underground is carefully extracted, crushed, cleaned, refined, and packaged before making its way to homes and businesses thousands of miles away. Each step in the process adds value, not just to the product itself but to the communities and ecosystems that surround its production. And for those of us in the US, the next time you sprinkle a pinch of this mineral-rich crystal over your food, you'll know it carries with it a story millions of years in the making. It's a reminder that even the smallest ingredients in our kitchens have journeys as vast and fascinating as the meals they help create. So, as you enjoy your next dish seasoned with Himalayan pink salt, take a moment to appreciate not just the flavor but the heritage, craftsmanship, and sustainable practices behind it. Every grain connects you to an ancient ocean, a rugged mountain, and a global network of people who dedicate themselves to bringing this extraordinary product from mine to table. And if you're fascinated by stories like these, stick around. There are countless other everyday items hiding incredible origins, waiting to be discovered and celebrated.